What's up, everybody? Well, afternoon time, folks. Um, Topic right now. So I've been sitting here a little bit. I want to talk about Tupac. I want to talk about racism, and I want to talk about my feeling of the African American. First, I like to say I'm 100% Italian. Um, I think I'm about 50, or am I about quarter percent Sicilian. Um, I and I'm 41, and I was born in 1977. Just some fun facts for anybody who cares, which probably nobody does, but that's that. Uh, yeah, I know there's a lot of talk on Pac out there. A lot of, he gets backlashed a lot of people, kind of, as you'd say, fronting on him. It's real easy to knock a dead man when he's already dead, and obviously, when you hear DJ Chop Up, I think DJ Chop It or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. And some of the other remixes that they've done with Pac and with Biggie too. Um, but you can hear it with both of them. But this is going to be about Pac. Biggie's nasty as hell too, but that's another video. Pac though, he's when they put his flow to today's beats, it hits. It works. And this guy has a voice. You hear it. His voice is from the 90s. Sometimes you'll hear 92, 93 to 96, 90 to 94 to 94, 96-ish. Any of the stuff that says he's alive with the music that's out there, however they mix, the fuck Drake, the fuck, the fuck Lil Wayne, when they did that remix song, which I forget what it was. I don't know how they do that voice or how they mix that together. But if you listen to that voice carefully, that's not a voice of today. That's his voice of back then. You can hear it. At least that's my opinion. I just feel that it's unfortunate that so many people take shots at a guy that's deceased. Now put him in the game today versus, there's a lot of great guys out there. You got Eminem. You've got you've got some old greats out there. You've got Eric B. Not Eric B. Rakim, excellent. You still have decent rappers that are out there. Bone every now and then. A member of them might come out with something all right. There's a few others that I'm actually drawing a blank on. For some reason, because I listen to mostly, the 90s stuff. I'm a fan of 3-6 Mafia, De Niro Ferrero. I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong. He's pretty nasty. Jaron Benton. Sorry, that's the other one. That's the other one I was thinking. Jaron Benton, another nasty rapper. Jaron Benton hops in. He's okay, but Jaron Benton though, that was the one I was trying to think. I'm trying to look on my phone, and that was the one on the top of my head. I'm like, man, Jaron Benton, he's nasty. There's guys out. Even there's even a few young Thug songs that I like. I like the beat. I like the lyric to the song that there is. 99% of the stuff I hate. I'm not a fan of. It's okay, but but I'm not one of those guys where I'm like, oh, the oldies and the new. No, what I want people to remember is the greats. The Fat Boys, the LL Cool J, the Run DMCs, the Curtis Blow, the Fab Five Freddies, not Fab Five Freddy, my bad. I'm thinking of Kumo D. Um, uh, who else do we have? Uh, Slick Rick, Two Live Crew. They kind of paved the way for the outstanding lyrics. Yeah, N.W.A., Eazy-E, Public Enemy, nasty group too, especially Bum Rush the Show. I don't want to keep spitting all these names out because I'm thinking off the top of my head. I'm drawing blanks and I'm going off topic. But Tupac, I don't want to kick a man when he's down. You put him in the game today, he's gonna, in my opinion, annihilate. I don't think a lot of the rappers that have made it popular. I don't know if the style would have went the way it has. I don't know if Big L, Big Pun, Pac, Biggie, if all the greats were in the game still. One of the guys from Lost Boys. One of the guys from the Lost Boys, I forget. He passed too. I can't remember the name of him. That's on the top of my head too. You have so many great guys that have unfortunately left us. You have great underground guys. Dark Low, A.R. Ab, out of Philly. There's a lot of guys that can bring game to the table. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Pac's gonna kill, because I can't say that for sure either. But Pac brought an element. He wanted unity. He wanted peace. He had his gangster persona, but that wasn't all what he was about. He respected women. He respected children. He had songs holding babies. He was a great man in my opinion. I love Pac, and I hate it when people rag on him because he wanted equality, and that's what I want. As a white man, I want equality amongst black and whites. I love the black man. I love the African American, and I'm told all the time by a few that I talk to, because I don't have many friends, but by a few people that I associate with, I'm talking as like overdone with it basically, or too much, like I don't even know, because I'm so opinionated on the rights of how the rights of the African American have been fucked up from day one. The slavery of the hundreds of years and 100 years and hundreds of years, the way, if you don't educate your child or your daughter the right way, they're going to walk down the street and then 99% of them are going to fear a man of color. And I hate that. I've known so many black people. I have so many black friends when I was going to college back in the day, probably 15, 20 years ago when I was going to community college. And different people when I hung out and went to parties and stuff. And, I really gravitated towards African Americans. Every race, I'm not gonna say every race doesn't have his hothead. Every race doesn't have an idiot in the race, but you can't make the race look bad based on a few instances. It's not fair what was done. You take it back. You take it back to I even looked up a song. I think in the 50s. If you Google it on YouTube, it's called "Run Nigger Run." I think. Excuse me for saying that word, because as a white man, I don't believe I'm allowed to say that word, and I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna say it because it's a song. Okay. Now, if you look that up, I was appalled when Elvis is looked at as the sexual innuendos of the way he dances and the way the music is and this and that. But you could say that against a race, and that's all right, and enslave them, make them sit at the back of the bus, make them drink from a different water fountain, go to a different bathroom. Fuck that. And this way, we're talking, we're not even 100 years from that right now. And now you want to go back in history, we're still fresh. The wound is still cut, and that can go for a lot. That can go for for Jews, Jewish people, the Holocaust, different races. I'm not gonna lie, Puerto Rico not being part of the United States. Mexico is. Why isn't Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico's dying. We're barely doing anything. We don't do anything for Africa. There's no resources, so why we do anything? There's no oil. Plain and simple. That's another thing there. But the African American gets the bad hand. And then they reside in a nice area. Compton was a great area at one point. And then they push them out, and then they flood, and then they overflood, they overpopulate, and then the white people leave, and then white people leave that were in there, and they flood them out, and then they have to develop gangs. I'm not an expert on that. I don't speak anything about that. I don't understand. I understand it, but I don't understand it in the sense of why kill each other of your own color. But I do understand there's I understand there's a whole thing of that, and I'm not going to discuss that because I don't know anything about it, and it's not my place. But I am going to say that they made them form the gangs in order to protect themselves. If you watch the Bronx Tale, if you watch the Italians take bats and go after these African American kids with bats, they put the bats down and knuckle up, and they would have lost. The Italians would have lost. They would have got their ass kicked. That's what would have happened. They do stupid shit like that. Then they form these gangs. Then these gangs form other gangs, and then you have a whole cycle, and now you have gangs. But there wouldn't have been gangs if there wasn't segregation, if there wasn't overflooding in, and if people just fucking didn't look at the color, and if people just looked at each other as a human. Now I'm gonna give you one last example here, okay? God, say this country's hit or attacked. There's a nuclear, civil revolt, nuclear war, what have you. Now you're going to see a couple black guys or a couple Hispanics or a couple Hindus, Mexicans, Italians, Jewish people, whatever. Whoever you hate, you're going to see them. Well, in that time of terror, you will not see color. You will not see ethnicity. You will see a human there, and you will need help, and you will need their help to help you. And it would take an event of atrocity in order for people that are ignorant and that see color and that are ignorant in that perspective to then finally say, wow, it doesn't matter. But no, when everything's going smooth and you're living your life, you point the finger, this one, that scumbag, but nobody knows the reality of what's going on. And let me tell you, take a trip to the ghetto, walk in there, see the bed bugs, see the roaches everywhere, see the roaches all over the beds, see the rats that get into the cribs, that eat the baby's ears, that nub off the baby's ears. See all that shit. And then tell me why the 15-year-old boy doesn't go outside and sell a little dope to give his mother some money to put some food on the table because his stomach's hungry all night. And he sees his mom crying in pain because her stomach's hungry all night. You see the cycle? You see what happens? So you do a little of that, and that evolves. And then you end up with you end up with an issue. You end up with things going on, illegalities. But there's reasons to these things. It's not that, I want to be a pin. I want to be a, sometimes, there's situations. But I got to say, at least in the high 90%, they're putting food on the table. And that's what they want to do. And that's what they're trying to do. Father figure leaves. Father's beating the mother. God forbid, molesting the family member. These are situations that happen. It's not white middle class, not white high class, not, it's a bad, sad situation, and I can't stand it when people say, they can get out of it, they can do it. But no, not everybody can get out of everything. I'm a prime example. I suffer from OCD, bipolar, anxiety, PTSD, etc., etc. I don't take any medication other than Xanax. Okay? And I've done college. I've gone three times. I'm sorry, 3 times. The OCD gets bad, I quit. I grew up middle class. I grew up okay. I had opportunity. I was accepted to different colleges. I threw it all away. Am I a bad person? I decided not to do bad things. I didn't do anything bad. No. I didn't go out and I didn't sell drugs. I didn't have that way. I didn't have a way to do that. So I didn't do that. I didn't have any way. So I had jobs. I got fired. I went from job to job. I went that route, and that's what I did. And that's what I did. Now I write personal training programs for people and work people out, because I did personal training. Okay? But an example is I didn't get myself out, and I'm still struggling with the little bit that I did get myself out. All right? I'm making nothing in the scheme of everything. So, you can't say that everybody can do it. Yeah, there are willed people that do get out that can, and then there are that aren't as willed, that struggle, that try, that can, that can't, or that are actually, I should say, that can't, or they're in the process of trying. And that's really all I wanted to say today. I know there was a third, but I've really said enough. I just wish the racism would end. I wish people would accept African Americans more so in a more loving, holistic fashion. They have a place amongst here, just as amongst as all of us, and we need to understand that more, I think, and and we need to do that with all races and all ethnicities as well, and we need to try to unite as one. And we need to try to come together and help fix this broken nation that we're living in, and help people see that you don't have to run into a theater and shoot people up, or God forbid a school or something like that to get your anger out. If you're going to do something like that, go to the source, go to the bully, go to the parent, go to somebody that did it. Don't go to somebody innocent and do something like heinous like that. Don't even do it the other way. But I'm saying, if you have to go that route and you can't, and you don't seek help, and you're on that spur of the moment, get who did you. I'm not saying to do that, but I mean, plain and simple. Why hurt an innocent that did nothing to you? I don't understand that. I've been spit at. I've been bullied. I've been thrown against the wall. I've been thrown on the ground, been hit a few times. I didn't go blow nothing up. I just try to pray, and I try to work out, and I just try to live. And I just wish everybody would just try to come together. And I think if we all did that, I think if we all did come together, I think we could all live for the more positive and for the better. And I think we could all come out as one. And I think we could all help to get rid of the insecurities and the baggage and the stuffage that we have in us. And I think we can help release that more. And I think that we can live better lives and help our children and our children's children, live better lives. So God bless everybody. Just some random thoughts by Mike here. And I thank you for listening. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Give me what you can. Thanks a lot, everybody.